Let's go down the list. We've already talked about some of these guys, but we're going to let you know who got drafted where. We'll talk about each of them, except for the ones we just discussed. I'll give you where they went, what round and what team. First up, as everyone expected, not a big surprise, Mendoza went number 1 to the Raiders. I got to tell you, I liked him coming out of his shell a little bit over the weekend.
Dropping the F-bombs.
He dropped an F-bomb. He wore the helmet with the suit. He was on stage. This kid looks genuinely excited that he got drafted number 1, even though he knew he was going to get drafted number 1. And he looks like he's just so happy and joyful to be in the NFL that I wasn't really a fan of his, and I'm starting to come around. Like, now I want to see what he's going to bring to the Raiders, and I feel like he's a perfect understudy of Tom Brady. Perfect.
You mean Kirk Cousins?
Well, no, I mean Tom Brady.
Obviously, Brady's there. The Raiders. If you pull that image back up, do y'all realize this guy is destroying teams with a punter's face mask?
Pull the image back up.
We got to get my boy a face mask, bro.
That is a terrible look. Like,
we got to get my boy a face mask. My man has half sleeves, no wristbands, nothing.
Swagless.
Right?
He is swagless.
Basic as all can get out. But hey, his game is loud.
Yeah.
His game is loud. And
I like how his thumb is tucked. He's got the fingers out. I mean, he's got some hairy ass arms.
Release is a little low for me to be a 6'5" guy. But hey, the kid can spin it, and the kid competes day in and day out. He's a great leader. I think Kirk Cousins and him are going to get along very well.
I do,
and he nerds out over quarterbacking. I love nerds when it comes to playing quarterback, because you got to be a nerd, like, to some degree, because you got to nerd out over this position. It's a very tough position. I think he's handled it with grace. I think him just staying back with his mom, you can tell his family is very supportive of him. You know, his core values are built within his family and his faith. And to me, that is extremely important for such a young kid, and he's wise beyond his years. He already talks like a future CEO. And so if you have him on LinkedIn, he's constantly doing cool things with it, man. I root for kids like this because he just seems like he's made up of all the right stuff. And he's a kid that'll get hit in the mouth and keep up and keep going, right? He had blood on his mouth at Ohio State, the first hit in Big Ten championship. The kid shook it off. That's what made me say, hey, man, you need to switch that damn punter face mask and put on a real face mask.
Right?
So you might
Someone's going to have to help him.
Visor on or something, right?
He's going to need some help when he gets
Please switch that face mask. Somebody's got to tell him.
All right.
Somebody.
Ty Simpson obviously went number 1 to the Rams. Carson Beck goes 3rd to the Arizona Cardinals. Now, this guy has played more college football than most, right? You see flashes where you think, oh, this guy is A+ potential, and then you see him make plays, and you're like, what is he thinking? What's wrong with this dude? Is he a fit in Arizona? He's obviously going to get to sit behind Brissett. I think that's a good thing.
I think it could be a great fit simply because he has such a good quarterback to learn from. Brissett's been around Tom Brady. He's been a very serviceable backup for years. He finally has an opportunity to run with it for a little bit until, Beck becomes at least serviceable to where the Niners can kick him in the mouth every year.
Well, Kyler Murray's gone. They need to do something.
Yeah, we needed to get rid of Mighty Mouse because Mighty Mouse used to destroy us.
There wasn't a lot.
You don't have to worry about him no more. We have to worry about bad back Stafford, and then we got to still worry about my man Sam Darnold up north. So I like this pick for Arizona because I like beating up on Arizona quarterbacks. So and also he can't move either. So we'll see.
I do not see Carson Beck becoming the long-term franchise quarterback for the Arizona Cardinals or any NFL team for that matter. I think he might have a shot. He may start for a year, maybe even 2, but I think Carson Beck is going to find himself in a backup role in 3 to 4 years for somebody. I'm not sure for who. That's just my feeling. Here's another guy.
Normally don't hit on him. So
what'd you say?
Cardinals rarely hit on quarterbacks.
It's true.
I think the last quarterback was Kyler, right? Kyler had some flash.
Kyler was good.
Has there ever been a serviceable quarterback not named Jake Plummer?
They had Kurt Warner, went to the Super Bowl.
They had Kurt for 2 years.
They didn't draft Kurt.
Was it 3 years?
They had Kurt. I want to say 3.
Jake
might have been 2.
Jake the Snake was a bad boy in Arizona.
Jake was good.
I remember.
Yeah, you don't remember.
That's about it. That's where it stops. So
here,
hopefully he's a guy.
Here's a team
maybe not.
What do you think about this team, bro? The Steelers, outside of drafting Ben Roethlisberger, and I guess you could say Terry Bradshaw, because he was part of 4 Super Bowl wins, they can't draft quarterbacks. They made a mistake with Kyle Pickett a couple years ago, getting the hometown guy. And then in this year, in the 3rd round, what did I say? Kenny Pickett. Oh, no, Kenny Pickett. And then in the 3rd round, this weekend, they take another hometown kid from Penn State, Drew Aller, who, number one, I think we all agreed that we don't really feel like Drew Aller is going to be a franchise NFL quarterback. But more importantly, this dude grew up a Browns fan. Can you imagine, as a 49er fan, that you get drafted to the Rams? This guy, as a Browns fan, lifelong, gets drafted to the Pittsburgh Steelers, the team that he absolutely hates. And it's another hometown kid that you're hoping for. And I like Drew Aller. I liked him as a college quarterback. I liked watching him because he's the guy that was never going to quit. He's a great teammate. He's a leader. He's all those things. NFL franchise quarterback, I don't think so. And so what were the Steelers doing at 3, man? It feels like a reach. It feels like a reach to me.
Yeah, I feel it's definitely a reach. I mean, you have Will Howard sitting there, which a lot of players are pretty enthused about him. Dual threat kid out of Ohio State, pick last year. I don't see it with Drew Aller. I haven't seen it. I saw one game where he was like, oh, this kid didn't have him, but the kid was a redshirt freshman. So I'm thinking that, hey, if he's able to learn a little bit from Aaron Rodgers, really develop, he's got size. I mean, he's a big dude, right? 6'5.5", 230, right? In a McCarthy offense, which is, we all know, is very West Coast. Can he get rid of the ball really fast? I'm not sure, man. I don't want to overhype the kid, but the kid may surprise you. There's a reason they took him in the 3rd round, but I'm still trying to understand why. I just didn't think Penn State quarterbacks, man, outside of Kerry Collins, just don't do anything in the NFL.
Yeah, and Kerry Collins didn't do much.
Good. So good. I used to love watching him throw the ball.
You did? You liked him?
What? Kerry had a bullet.
Right.
Cannon.
He's all right.
I just like his throw motion. I don't know. He just looks smooth.
I felt like the Jets did a good job here. I felt like the Jets did a good job in getting Cade Klubnick, because you have Geno Smith in the building. That's your guy for at least next year. But now you've got Cade Klubnick from Clemson, who to me is a very, very good quarterback. He's athletic. He can throw it. He can throw it on time. There's a lot of upsides to Cade Klubnick. I like him going to the Jets and being able to sit behind Geno Smith for a year or two. How are you feeling with Cade?
I like Cade, man. Cade is an athlete. I watched him when he played at Austin Westlake. I hate that he went to Clemson because I don't think it truly developed him. Just under that gimmicky offense and RPO heavy system. I would have loved to see him in a situation where, he could have stayed, maybe played better competition in the SEC. He's an athlete, man. I mean, he can make plays. He just didn't have it all put together the rest of his, career. But he's got volume. He started as a freshman. He played all 4 years. When you have a kid 30-plus starts in his career, those are the kids you really like to grab to. And who knows? I mean, taken in the 4th, maybe he shines. Maybe he can block out noise. But, having Geno Smith there, is that the best example? Probably not, right? But I mean,
you don't think Geno can teach him how to be a pro, how to watch film as a pro, how to navigate practice, how to become a leader in the locker room?
Or how to throw a ton of picks each year? Yeah.
Well, sure. I'm not talking about on field now. I'm just talking about the mechanics of becoming a pro quarterback. And I like Cade better than Carson and Drew Aller. So I think the Jets really.
I think Cade's got a better upside because he can move. Cade can move. Cade can make plays. So this is some of the type of quarterbacks that you're going to start seeing. A little 6'2", maybe 6'3", has a good arm, but has great escapability. And I think that's something that Cade brings. And so will that help? Because the Jets are loaded in the draft. They have one of the best drafts I've seen. So we'll see what happens with Cade. I'm excited to see his journey.
Taylen Green obviously went to the Browns. That was a 6th-round pick. Obviously,
such
he doesn't.
Reach, man. I feel bad.
There he is again. He's so skinny. He doesn't have to make the team.
For the
6th-round pick, by the way. I mean, there's no guarantee there. Maybe he comes in and outshines Dylan Gabriel, and they trade Dylan Gabriel because he still has trade
That's
value.
what I'm thinking. They trade him to the Falcons. Go right under that system with the lefties.
There you go.
All lefty quarterbacks in Atlanta.
I like it. So there's Taylen Green. He went to the Browns. This next name's a tough one. I don't know if I can say it. I'm going to do my best. His name is Athan Kaliakmanis. Is that right? Do you know who he is?
No.
He went to the Commanders. Look, the only thing I know about Rutgers is that Michigan uses them as a warm-up every year in the Big Ten. We use them to just trounce all over them every single season. They're a good speed bump for us to get ready for our Big Ten play. So I don't know much about the kid. He went 7th to the Commanders. He's obviously not going to start or even be the number 2. So we'll see. I don't know what this was about. I don't know why the Commanders took him. What do you know about him?
Don't know a lot about him, but wish you the luck, kid. Go out there and prove him wrong.
Okay, there we go.
Not prove him wrong, but prove yourself right.
This is where we really miss Lauren. The Patriots in the 7th round take Behren, Morton. Is that how I say his name? Out of Texas Tech. He was taken in the 7th round. Again, 7th round guys don't typically make the team, or if they do,
Purdy.
I mean, it's not going to happen all the time. Good luck to you. We don't know much about you. You should know more about him. He's in your favorite conference. You should know more about him.
In my favorite conference.
Well, I mean, he's in there with
SEC, bro. This is Big 12.
That's true. I forget.
But I will say with the Tech guy, I've had an opportunity to watch him play. He's not bad. He can move around a little bit, but when he played against Oregon in the playoffs, man, he was ghost. So it makes me question, can you handle this type of spotlight?
Right.
And it didn't look good, but I feel like him learning, I mean, this has been, Morton's, I don't put too much stock into it. I think the only stock I'm putting into is Mendoza, to be honest, and probably Cade, just because Cade has a tremendous opportunity.
Okay.
He does. And I don't know if Gino's on a short leash, but I think all these other guys, they're going to kind of cycle around and, go fight and try to make a spot. It's not about starting right now. It's earning your spot on the roster. And that's why I feel like it's very important for these guys who, feel like they may be getting overlooked. But one thing I do like about a guy like Kaliakmanis, I'm going to call him AK.
AK, I like that.
What I like about that, you never know how good a kid is until you put him in that spotlight, right? He played on a bad Rutgers team. Normally when these quarterbacks play on bad teams and you get them around some dogs,
they're better.
It might be serviceable, right? So be on the lookout for these guys in the preseason. I'm curious to see how these guys all perform. Again, if I was to pick a guy who wouldn't shock me, he's starting by week 8, is Cade.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I think Gino's on the short.
You don't think Mendoza's going to take over at some point in Las Vegas? I don't think he should.
At some point, but I think Kirk Cousins is such a strong veteran that he's not going to let it go just too easy.
I agree.
Right? He's going to light it up. He may have a shit game, but I can't imagine a rookie head coach turning to a rookie QB in the middle of the season. I can't. No. Especially when you've already coached that veteran and you had success with him.
I could see it in December when they're not mathematically eliminated from the playoffs. Then we get a good.
Hey, go spin it for a few games, kid.
Yep.
I want Kirk to do well. I do, because
my favorite 7th rounder.
His best season was with him.
My favorite 7th rounder was Garrett Nussmeier. Obviously, because of the connection. I'm hoping that he gets some opportunity. Look, there was a lot of drama surrounding that program last year too. right?
Yeah.
There's a lot of outside noise. A lot went into what was going on last year. But let's not forget, coming into the season last year, he was rated as a first-round guy, right? Things didn't go well for LSU last year. That wasn't 100% on him. He was a little inconsistent. But again, a lot was going on around LSU last year. I think Garrett's going to a perfect spot. He gets to compete for a number 2 job. I do think Justin Fields is going to be used a little bit as a gimmick guy in that Kansas City offense. So I think Garrett Nussmeier has an opportunity here. Not that he'll ever take over as the starting quarterback for the Chiefs, but maybe, get some opportunity to end up somewhere else and get that shot.
You know who I'm going to compare him to?
Who's that?
Chad Henne. Good serviceable quarterback.
Better arm than that.
Could be a solid number 2. Solid for years to come. I can't see you taking a guy in the 7th round and forcing him into a starting position, or he's the backup for more. I think this is going to take some time.
Okay. Because
his injury history, and he makes a lot of bonehead plays. Because why? He can't move.
He can't. That's true.
He can't. He cannot move. He's not his little brother.
No, he's not. I do like him, though. I like the whole family. Whole family.